All right, so here's part 2 of our Lazarus lesson. We left off with Mary or Martha in verse 24 saying, I know that my brother will rise again, and I know that he'll rise again in the resurrection of the last day. So when Jesus returns, we will all rise. And so we know that Mary and Martha are believers here. And Jesus responds with, I am the resurrection and the life. And whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. And so we know now that when we die, we may die on earth, but we know that we get to have eternal life with Jesus in heaven. And so Jesus says, do you believe this? And Martha responds, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is coming into the world. Verse 28. When she said this, she went and called her sister Mary, saying in private, the teacher is here and is calling for you. And when she heard it, she rose quickly and went to him. Now Jesus had not yet come into the village, but was still in the place where Martha had met him. When the Jews who were with her in the house, consoling her, saw Mary rise quickly to go out, they followed her, supposing that she was going to the tomb to cry there. Now, when Mary came to where Jesus was and saw him, she fell at his feet, saying to him, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come with her also weeping, he was deeply moved. In his spirit, he was greatly troubled. And he said, where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. This is the shortest verse in the Bible, but it is incredibly powerful because it shows Jesus's sorrow and his sadness. And he doesn't just have a few tears, but he weeps. He cries very heavily. He's so moved by the love of these people for Lazarus and the loss of his friend. So the Jews said, see how he loved him. But some of them said, could he who opened the eyes of the blind man also kept this man from dying? So some of the Jewish people were angry, like, if this man can make people see after they're blind, he should have kept this man alive. Verse 38. Then Jesus, deeply moved again, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone lay against it. Jesus said, take away the stone. Martha, the sister of the dead man, said to him, Lord, by this time there will be an odor. Because as things die and they start to decay, it's not a really pleasant smell. For he has been dead for 4 days. Jesus said to her, did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God? So they took away the stone, and Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this on account of the people standing around, that they may believe that you sent me. When he had said these things, he cried out in a loud voice, Lazarus, come out! The man who had died came out, his hands and feet bound with linen strips, and his face wrapped with a cloth. Jesus said to them, unbind him and let him go. So Jesus has raised Lazarus from the dead. And if we go back to the scriptures here, Jesus knew that this was going to happen because he says in verse 3, this illness is not going to lead to death. Now, Lazarus did die, and we know he was dead for 4 days. But Jesus said, this is happening so that the Son of God may be glorified through it. So this was to help prove that Jesus was the Son of God, a miracle to help prove that Jesus was the Son of God. Blessings to you, 4th grade. I will hopefully see you soon. Enjoy the Skit Guys video.